Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. Here we are in Maine in the North Woods, and we're going to talk about the Grey Alder. Friend or foe? Let's get started. So the alder is often cursed and misunderstood as a tree slash bush. Sometimes they grow into trees if they are trimmed or they have one of the trunks seem to have a dominant height over the others. You can see them over time but grow into a tree. They are a nitrogen fixing plant, and they also like to grow in wetlands, so they like to dry up and reclaim soil that way. There's even a myth where they're quote unquote rock busters. I'm not sure about that one, but we'll leave that for the myths. So today I'm actually going to collect seed because the cones are ready. They're starting to drop seed, and what you should do is you should clip them into a paper bag and not miss it like that. Into the paper bag it goes. That way you can collect them. Let me give you a close-up on these seeds. Here's a close-up on these seeds. They're just a cone, and they drop very similar to a pine cone. Slightly different morphology. They may be air dispersed, but I don't see them float as well like you do with like a conifer. But that is a gray alder cone or seed pod. So not only am I collecting these seeds, I'm also going to harvest and cut back the alder. So the ground is being enriched. This is quite a large clumping of alder. There's a large root system, no doubt by now. It's at least 5 years old, maybe 10, 12 years old. And this bunching is going to have quite an effect on the ground underneath it. It's going to fertilize it. So it's going to cut these flat. So if you grow them and cut them flat, that's completely acceptable. They will certainly grow back, though, if you don't remove the root ball, the root base. So for those who are interested, I am selling these gray alder seeds for on my store. So if you want, I'll put a link in the description. These are a cold eco type. This is zone 5 alder, so it's used to growing in the colder climes. So if you live in the north or just worried about cold in general, this will be it. So I'm assuming the alder actually has both male and female flowers, because I have these other types of pods here. There seem to be a different type of flower on the tree. I don't know if the alder has like a hermaphroditic trait or not, but I'm sure I'll find out and I'll put it in the description later. So after I'm done collecting all these seeds, or as many as I want, that is, I'm going to go ahead and cut this alder back into sections. Now, wait for that truck to pass. Now, what I want to do is cut this into small sections that can be placed on a fire or a grill, because alder, gray alder, is exceptional at smoking fish. So I'm going to sell the sections of alder off by weight for people who want to have a unique North Woods flavor to their fish, a unique flavor. So that's another use of the alder. So it's not just a tree that grows wild or a bush that's a pain in the rear end. It's only a pain in your rear end if you don't manage the alder. The alder is helping loosen your ground. The alder is putting nitrogen into your ground. The alder is also making foliage, which then rots and helps build topsoil. And then at the end, you can also chop up the alder and use it as a good source to flavor your food, or even for firewood or kindling. It's a very exceptional wood. It does burn hot. So keep that in mind when using the alder. So let me show you how I cut this up. So what I want to do is, when I'm cutting this up for firewood, I want to get where I can bite it with the tool, with the snips. Take that down like so. This only takes a couple days to dry out because we're in the beginning of fall. Most of the moisture in the alder just doesn't even feel wet at all. It's already retreated into the ground. It gets fairly cold at night, close to freezing, but not quite freezing. So I want to cut this into sections like so. Having a ratcheting snip is actually beneficial to this. There it is. And then you also want to snip off the edges. You could also use the smaller ones as kindling for smoking as well, just as well as the big pieces. So keep that in mind. Something like this is a good length for smoking wood for fish. Just want to show you the haul of seeds there we got. Not too shabby. That's probably hundreds of seeds in there. Alright, so I processed some of the alder I've cut, and I'm going to sell this here as smoking wood for fish, as I had mentioned earlier. Now, keep in mind, the alder grows very fast. So if you're looking to reclaim some land, fix nitrogen, build topsoil, alder's a good pioneer species to do this. It's hardy, it's robust, it's prolific, and the one thing we haven't talked about is its use as bonsai. I'm going to explore that. This is just more of an introduction of the uses of the gray alder. I'm going to do a series of gray alder as bonsai trees so we can see that. It'd be good for landscaping and for northern climes, for species that need to be able to freeze and still be a beautiful accoutrement to your home or garden. You know, I think the alder would be a good addition to this. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If you're looking to buy some gray alder seed, the link will be below. If you're looking to purchase your own freshly cut, washed alder for smoking fish, also a link below. And in the meantime, consider liking and subscribing for moral support, and you'll get to learn a lot more about the North Woods and trees in general and blacksmithing and a whole lot more. So until then.